1970, Neil Young recorded his first LP with the backup band Crazy Horse and Danny Whitten. And that song was featured on that LP, became a Billboard hit, along with Down by the River and some other great tunes. The song featured double drop D tuning and Cinnamon Girl, a classic song for you here on Song Mentor. All right, here we go with Cinnamon Girl. The first thing you're going to do, faithful to Neil Young, is you're going to tune the low E string down to a D so that it matches an octave apart in tone with the fourth string, which is a D, of course, as well. So now your low E string becomes a D and is an octave apart from your open D string, the fourth string. You're going to do the same thing with the high E string. You're going to tune it down to a D so that it is also an octave apart from the fourth string. And this allows for the special sound that Neil Young gets in this song. Now you can play this in regular tuning, and I'm going to play it in regular tuning tonight with my band because we play this song, and my part in the song doesn't involve me doing this, what is called double drop D tuning. Double drop D tuning, because you drop both E strings down to a D. And now that you've got that, make sure it's in tune, and we'll get to work here. Our first part of the progression is, and you could play it like this. You could, using your index finger to bar the fourth, third, and second strings at the fifth fret. Okay, so you could go from the fifth fret to the seventh fret there. Okay, and that's the opening riff. I like to play it as a bar chord. And the reason I do that, so we're playing basically a C bar chord here now, I'm still playing those three notes. I'm just I use my pinky for those three, and then I bar the third fret. And I'm going to pick down now 5, 4, 3, and 2 instead of just 4, 3, 2. Gives me an extra note in this, and it just has a little more power and juice to it. Gives me this note. Normally I wouldn't have that. Okay, so that's my recommendation. So you can play it here. Or you can play it my way. Okay, the little rundown. There's a quick hit on the open A. Okay, so it's open A, C, B, A, and then because we have the open D tuning now, the double drop D tuning, we just bar the sixth and fifth strings at the third fret, and then same thing on the fifth fret. Okay, now there's a little bit of style to this. Hear that? I'm filling that in. It's part of the feel of the song. And you know, if you look at the right hand here, a lot of that's muted. Hear that? 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm just putting that in, and that's part of the style of the song. It really adds a lot. Okay, again, slowly, one more time. Take us into the verse. So the chord progression for the verses is essentially a D chord, an A minor, a C, and a G. Because of the drop D tuning, we're going to play them a little bit differently. So the D chord, I'm just going to leave out the E string note on the D chord, so that the D note, which is a D note in a D chord, shines through. It sounds like a kind of a bonus D chord. It's like a D chord with an extra D in it. So and when I play the A minor now, the D chord is still chiming through. And that's the secret to this chording, is that the D string, the high D string, chimes through on every chord. There's the C chord, and again, playing a normal open C chord, that first string is left open on a regular open C chord. So what note is it playing? D note. Now the only chord that's a little bit different here is the G chord, and all I'm going to do with the G chord is I'm not going to play the 6th string because that's now not tuned properly. So I'm going to put my second finger on the B note of the A string, the 2nd fret of the A string, and then my pinky is going to play the D note down here. So again, I get a double D. I get, okay. So it's just a 2-note chord, the B note of the 5th string and the D note, or the 3rd fret of the 2nd string. Okay, so that progression again, I'm leaving the 3rd finger out of that D chord. Time I'm chiming that open D note through all 4 of those chords. Wanna live with a cinnamon girl. I could be happy the rest of my life. And then we're going to go back to this. Okay, and so that's just barring again. I'm using 1st, 3rd finger, 3rd finger. We're going 3, 5, 7 on the 5th and 6th strings. And now this is another reason why I like to use those bar chords earlier, because now I'm using them to complete this little progression here. And that's just... So playing through that again, the verse with the chiming high D note, and then the little bit that we play up to bring it back to a verse again. I wanna live with a cinnamon girl. I could be happy the rest of my life with a cinnamon girl. One thing I didn't show you is that little climb up into the C chord. So again, these chords. Okay, so that's just an A note, a B note, and a C note. Showing you what you need for the intro, showing you what you need for the verses. It's just that bridge part that we need to tackle. Okay, well, don't ask me to tell you the names of these chords, especially in drop D tuning, but we're going to do the Pa Sent Me Money part and the chords that are involved with that. And the first one's played like a bar C chord, but all I'm going to do, instead of flattening just the 3 notes in a bar C chord, I'm also going to flatten the note that's on the high E string as well. And you hear that little... When I listen to this song, I can hear him arpeggioing through that. So that's just picking 1, 2, 3, 1st, 2nd, 3rd string with this bar chord in place. The second chord is in the position of a G minor 7. Okay, so basically I'm just going to bar the 3rd fret with my index finger, and I'm going to add my 3rd finger to the 5th fret of the A string. And I'm just going to pick around on strings 5, 4, 3, and 2 for that one. And then the 3rd chord is just an open A. And then it heads into the guitar solo. Alright, so I'm just going to play through and sing through softly this bit so you can see how the chords fit in here, those 3 chords.
Pa sent me money, now I'm gonna take it somehow. I need another chance. You say your baby loves to dance. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
And the guitar solo isn't really so much of a guitar solo as it is just a rehash of what we play in the verses. Just a little more emphasis on that chimed high D string. So you hear that? He's going down from just to finish up that progression, he goes from a C note, or a D note rather, to a C note, to a B note on the 2nd string, and plays those 2 strings together. So again. All right, let's do a playthrough from the 2nd verse till the end. 1, 2, 3.
10 silver saxes, a bass with a bow. The drummer relaxes and waits between shows for his cinnamon girl. A dreamer of pictures, I run in the night. You see us together, chasing the moonlight, my cinnamon girl. Send me money, now I'm gonna make it somehow. I need another chance. You say your baby loves to dance. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
All right, 2 things for fine tuning. One thing, make sure you have a little bit of overdrive for the song for sure. And then that ending is just that same D chord I'm playing all along, and I'm just hammering on and off the 3rd fret of the 5th, 4th, and 3rd strings. Okay, there you go. Neil Young's Cinnamon Girl. We'll see you next time on Songin'.